Delicate getting the first pick. Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the
Wade Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, Overwatch fans, and welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 playoff coverage. Tonight, we wrap up an intense week of Overwatch with our Discord tier feature match between two teams trying to keep their streaks alive as the number 1 seeded Reminiscence takes on the number 3 seeded Paradise Lost. I'm Bowsy, and I'm joined here by the wonderful Apathy on the cast. And Apathy, I think we're in for one heck of a showdown tonight.
Oh yeah, we've got a bit of a rematch from preseason, but otherwise these teams have not played each other in quite a while, and some pretty different play styles and styles for them, despite kind of that a similar logo and color scheme, which I find interesting.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see this match. Both of these teams, again, vying for a streak. Reminiscence has not lost a match since Stage 1, Week 3, where they had a Map 5 thrower against Quokka Queens. Paradise Lost, on the other hand, they currently have a 22-match win streak, including matches from other tournaments. And if they win tonight, Apathy, they will actually have as many wins as the Nostalgia Org currently have this season of Tranquility. So there's a lot on the line for these two teams, along with that championship bracket seeding, which is going to play heavily next week.
That's an interesting statistic, yeah. But I think the big takeaway is definitely just the upset if they do win. Not necessarily like breaking the streak, but also just, I mean, upsetting Rem is a very big deal, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it definitely is a big deal. And the winner of this match, if whoever wins this, Reminiscence or Paradise Lost, they get a bye week come the championship bracket. The loser has to face off against Echo Fleet, who was able to take down, from my knowledge, it was
Excalibur.
Thank you. Excalibur they took down next week. But we're going to head into our first map of the series. Reminiscence gets the first map pick as the higher seed, and they've decided to pick Lijiang Tower, which has been a common theme for most of the higher seeded teams here.
Yeah, Lijiang is a bit of a weird pick. I know Paradise Lost, I believe, likes to play a lot of weird Pharah comps, sometimes with double main tanks. And to be honest, I feel like Night Market and Garden are actually kind of decent for that. So Lijiang Tower is definitely an interesting pick, especially if Reminiscence decides to play a more default brawl style. And something to note is they are down their role star main tank Blood Hungry, and they currently have Seraph, their DPS, one of their DPS stars, filling in on that main tank role, which will be interesting. Obviously, Seraph, a talented player all around. I've played with him on some of his off roles and for fun scrims and comp. He's not like a liability on the main tank, but he's definitely not quite at Blood Hungry's level.
And we'll see how the loss of Blood Hungry affects Reminiscence here, as they're starting off here with the typical brawl composition. Actually, no, they're switching it up here last second. They're switching over to the Tracer Cassidy. Meanwhile, on the side of Paradise Lost, more of a dive style, which is kind of rare here. So we'll see which team plays into each factor. As you do see now, Reminiscence heading into the White Room here. Paradise Lost trying to take a little bit of a more slow approach into the engage, as you see Reminiscence slowly making their way onto the point here. How does the engage happen here from Reminiscence?
It's tough. There's not really anybody to run onto. They can't get to the Ana when she's on that high ground, and you can't really go coast either at risk of being moved away.
And Losh already gets 2 with that Pharah, able to get Concept and Glitch. Lucy, however, able to get the kill on a Magic Turtle, but once again, Losh on that Pharah, able to do a lot of damage thus far, eliminating Seraph, and Lucy dies at the hands of him as well. And that's going to be a quick flip here for Paradise Lost. They will be getting the first cap here on Lijiang Control Center, and with Azukari getting that kill on the Az, though, it's just going to be a reset here for Reminiscence.
Yeah, we do see that Reminiscence did predict this. They did their research. The glitch scouting report paid off. That's why they have this Tracer in their Brawl comp. So they want to stick to a Brawl, but they're taking a Tracer to try to check the ball and force the auto away. Unfortunately, that's not quite how Reinhardt wants to play, so it's a bit of an awkward composition. We'll have to see if they can do anything this fight.
Once again, Reminiscence making their way into the White Room. Gets a little stun there onto Culture on the bow. Losh comes in with the barrage. It's eaten immediately up by DNA. A huge eat coming out there from the D.Va. The pulse bomb from Azdo is a miss, but he's still able to get the kill on the Culture. It's winnable here for Reminiscence as now Azukari dies, but Neo and Larsh able to get both DPS on the side of Reminiscence. The Dragon comes out from Neo and Larsh going to town with this Pharaoh, able to eliminate Glitch with Lucy dying to the hands of Neo, and Reminiscence once again. That fight looked really winnable, but at the end it was just the DPS from Paradise Lost bringing it back.
Yeah, they got picks, but they weren't really in a good position. Paradise Lost was still kind of surrounding them on all four sides. So even with picks, that's a really tough fight to push into. They're finally working their way up to some ultimates, but Larsh has another barrage, which is going to be really tough to push into.
DNA has to know that this barrage is coming here and save a DM for that. The window comes out here from Glitch as the pile driver from Concept makes sure that Losh can get right in with the barrage. It gets 4 kills, winning a massive play coming out of the DPS from Paradise Lost. And Reminiscence will have to reminisce about how that fight could have gone differently, as Paradise Lost are now in last fight territory to try and win Legion Control Center, and DNA gets booped off the map by Losh. That is very bad.
He just barely didn't make it back up. That was brutal. I'm not sure if they're even going to get a touch. Lucio's going to have to beat to do so.
Yeah, Lucy gets the touch. Concept dies at the hands of Losh. It is looking very rough here for Reminiscence as they are slowly but surely trickling their way to the point. Seraph has to use a Solar Shatter onto a Nano Boosted Azukari, and now you see that Reminiscence, they're unfortunately falling at the seams. Paradise Lost have a very secure objective here on this point. DNA's bomb not able to get any sort of Hail Marys there, and with that, looks like Reminiscence are going to be losing here at Legion Control Center. Paradise Lost go 1 point up in the series.
Yeah, and this is, I think they knew it was coming, like I said. They just couldn't quite figure it out once you've seen it in practice. It's very different than theory crafting about it, because although Control Center is usually favored towards that brawl, Paradise Lost's comp is actually not that bad for it, because they can just go coast, and you have a really hard time contesting anybody, because there's nobody for a brawl to rush onto in that comp. You have to play to like counter engage when the ball goes in, stun him up and try to kill him, but that's, you know, you pay too much attention to the ball, and the FAR is doing work even though it's an indoor map. So curious what they'll be able to do. Looks like they're going to try to go more aggressive with a bit of a 6-man style, and hopefully that can get them the distance that they need to close in order to take this fight. But we see Paradise Lost playing a completely different comp once again. Pretty much they got double flyer now.
Yep, they do have Air Force One coming out here with the Pharah Echo now on the side of Paradise Lost. Reminiscence still, they're trying to take the dive. They go right for Rigmadon in the backline, and it's a massive kill coming out from Glitch on the Moira. So still winnable here for Reminiscence. They're also able to get the kill onto Losh thanks to the hack from Azdo, and Reminiscence, they're able to try and bring this fight into their own hands. Both DPS dead for the side of Paradise Lost, and Reminiscence make their way to the point where Magic Turtle and Azukari meet them, but are unfortunately going to have to fall. And Reminiscence will get the first cap here on Lijiang Night Market. Now what does Paradise Lost do?
I don't think that they will switch. I do think that they really prefer the comps that they play. I haven't seen them switch off of them too much. It is honestly impressive that Reminiscence adapted this fast to find another comp that would work into it while still playing that brawl style.
Yeah, we already see adaptations coming out here from Paradise Lost. Rigmadon is switched off of Biana and onto a Moira now. Originally onto the Lucio, now onto the Moira. Obviously because there's just too much dab, and now Losh finally gets the kill onto Concept there. The first pick on the side of Paradise Lost at this point. And now you see that Paradise Lost is starting to make their engage in here. Azukari in the backline trying to make sure he can get any sort of damage. But Azo was able to kill off the main DPS of Larsh, and the res is denied from Magic Turtle. Azo dies in the aftermath, however, and the duplicate is used here from Neo, trying to get any sort of damage possible. But Lucy able to get the kill on the Magic Turtle, and Glitch gets the kill on the Rigmadon. The supports baiting out their counterparts as now Paradise Lost, they might have to retreat from this fight here, as Reminiscence killing off the supports might have been the key to victory here. Seraph with that Primal Rage able to get Culture. Glitch dies in the aftermath, and Azukari willing to invest the Primal Rage into this, but all Reminiscence looking very clean and stable here, as it looks like Reminiscence will be winning the fight. And now 69% for them. That's a very nice total, and Paradise Lost, they have nothing on the board thus far.
Larsh has been hacked up constantly. I mean, Asdo is literally throwing his translocator into the sky and getting off these impressive midair hacks. And now he's got that EMP. We do see Paradise Lost switch over to a Hog as well, which is a pretty spicy change-up, to be honest. I think they're going to just try to punish and one-shot somebody. We'll see what this EMP does.
Here comes the barrage from Larsh, able to get concept, but the EMP from Azdo is able to get 3. Azukari ends up getting the kill on the Seraph, however. It's still winnable here for Paradise Lost, so that Hog from Azukari able to get the kill onto Azdo as well. DNA ends up using a desperation bomb on the point and is able to get Larsh in the aftermath, but not before risking his own life for it. And Paradise Lost, with that push, they're going to be able to take the point here for the first time. 99%, however, in the bank for Reminiscence.
It was a good EMP, but we did see Magic Turtle kind of read it and get the Valkyrie off right before it popped. So they did still have that boosted healing for that entire fight, able to live through it, and Larsh was able to find a pick.
A big hack coming on onto Culture from Azdo, and Concept able to get the kill. Also able to get the kill on the Magic Turtle with that Deadeye, and Reminiscence there once again are making the advance. Lucy uses the beat aggressively, and Reminiscence immediately make their way onto the point here, able to get all the kills necessary. All that's left is this Wrecking Ball of Culture running back, but Reminiscence are going to try to keep him off. Concept does get the touch, however. This could be catastrophic if Paradise Lost are able to regroup, but Culture hacked, immediately burns to the ground. Magic Turtle comes back along with Azukari now on the Diva of all characters, and you see Paradise Lost trying to make their way onto the point, trying to stall it out. They do have these DPS ults if they're able to, but Neo dies to the hands of DNA, and unfortunately these kills are just going in the favor of Reminiscence, and Paradise Lost, they will have to deal with what they were able to accomplish. Reminiscence will get the second point here, and it's all going to come down to Lijiang Garden.
Yeah, Rem lost that one fight, but all they used was EMP, so they came back with 5 ults, and Paradise Lost had just switched their comp, so they didn't have any ults besides the Pharah Barrage that they used to win that previous fight. So unfortunately weren't quite able to overcome that ultimate advantage, and I think Garden's going to be a little bit more of the same, because 6-man is probably the premier comp for Lijiang Tower Gardens. So we'll see if Reminiscence can do more of the same, but Paradise Lost switching over to a teleporting Brawl strat, which will be quite interesting, because I do think 6-man has a bit of an advantage in this matchup, and we haven't seen much Reinhardt from Azukari.
We'll see what the move is here from Paradise Lost. They're actually going into the White Room, it seems. They're not going to be taking the TP straight over to the point. Actually, they switched off the TP entirely. They switched over to the Hanzo here for Neo, and you see that they're trying to catch up with the rest of the team here, but Reminiscence sticking comfortably on this point right now. They're able to get the 6-man onto the point immediately, and Azdo goes straight onto Neo with the rest of Reminiscence, able to get the kill onto that Hanzo, but Larsh able to get the kill onto Lucy in the backline, and you see now Reminiscence, they're now even in this fight. It's 1 DPS loss versus 1 support loss, and Paradise Lost, they're still trying to push forward, but the hack onto Larsh is massive coming out here from Azdo, able to try and separate Larsh from the rest of the team, as Paradise Lost, they're still trying to stabilize on this point, where Reminiscence are able to stall it out, able to get all 6 back into the fight, and they still have control over this point. Azukari is now hacked now on the side of Paradise Lost, and the coalescence comes out here from Glitch. The boop onto Rigmadon coming out from Lucy is massive, and Larsh starting to clean up the fight in the favor of Paradise Lost. They're trying to turn this around suddenly, out of nowhere. Paradise Lost, they lost the first cap, but Reminiscence will not be able to keep it for long, as Paradise Lost bring it back from the brink of defeat, and they will be able to get the cap here as soon as they're able to finish off Azdo on the Sombra. What a massive play coming out from Paradise Lost. It all depends on if they're able to get these stagger picks efficiently and quickly as possible. Sarah comes back here, gets the kill onto Larsh, however, and is able to use that Primal Rage effectively. He gets slept, however, trying to keep everyone alive, and Rigmadon does get killed by Seraph. All of a sudden, Reminiscence are turning this fight around from when it was turned around. All of a sudden, Reminiscence somehow, someway, the 6-man with all its stagger potential brings the fight back in their favor.
That is absolutely insane. I mean, 6-man obviously very good at keeping that point contested 1 by 1 and still finding opportunities, but just unable to clean up those targets one at a time as they trickled in, and Seraph came back with the Primal Rage, and that fight was all she wrote at that point. We see some big ults though on the side of Paradise Lost, because they felt comfortable enough in that fight to not use any ults before it quickly got turned on its head. So we'll see if they can use this window or this high noon to push in here.
Window comes out here for Magic Turtle, and Paradise Lost automatically make their way onto the point, meeting up with Reminiscence. You see that Reminiscence is trying to poke them out, and the hack comes out here onto Azukari. Here comes the bomb coming out from DNA, and it's able to get Rigmadon on the Ana. That is massive coming up here. Magic Turtle also does not have an immortality field, so there's very little heals coming out from Paradise Lost. Seraph and Concept, however, they die to the hands of Paradise Lost, but Lucy able to get the kill onto Lorsch. It's still winnable here for Reminiscence. They're slowly but surely trying to get these picks into their favor. Remember, this comp has a lot of stagger potential. Paradise Lost, they're still losing bodies left and right, but with the hack on a Neo, it might still be winnable here for Reminiscence. Seraph's back into the fight on this monkey. Here comes the bomb coming out from Culture. Only able to get Ozdo on the Sombra, but you see Paradise Lost slowly but surely losing bodies on the point. Reminiscence trying to bring this back very quickly, but Larsh is able to get the pick onto Seraph, and Rigmadon as well onto another pick, but our Azukari unable to touch the point. Reminiscence will be able to win the first map here. After looking very rough on Control Center, they were able to bring it back, which is very surprising.
Yeah, again, Control Center did definitely lend itself to that weird style that the Paradise Lost like to play. And although you would say, well, Night Market and Gardens are also decent Pharah maps, but like, there's a lot more places to survive and a bit less high ground for your own teammates to hide on, which is why Reminiscence was able to turn it around on the other 2 points here. Although still a very, very good map from both sides. Paradise Lost played those 2 maps pretty well. It didn't look super close just because of the recontestability that Reminiscence had, but a lot of those fights were very, very scrappy going both ways, and Reminiscence was just able to clutch it out a little bit at the end of each fight there.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the advantage of having that 6-man dive composition, because that composition survives off of scrappiness. The main point of that, the main gimmick of that comp is that no matter how scrappy the fight is, you are going to win because your team is able to stagger out quick enough. But now, Paradise Lost are now in the driver's seat. They get to choose our 2 CP map, which will be our second map. They have not chosen it yet, but if you had to guess anything, well, you don't get to guess, unfortunately, Apathy. I'm sorry about that, but we are actually going to Volskaya Industries. That is Paradise Lost's choice, which is pretty interesting. It can lend itself to a dive style, but what are your thoughts on this sort of map choice here from Paradise Lost?
I think it makes the most sense because Temple is decent for Ball and Pharah comps, but they're also pretty good for Orisa comps, which might not be the way that they want to take things. And Volskaya is very open, and you can create a lot of chaotic fights, especially on that first point if they continue to run this Monkey Wrecking Ball special that they have. So I think this is a spicy map pick, especially because they also play the Ana instead of the Zen, and Ana is really good on Volskaya. One of my favorite maps to play Ana on.
Absolutely, Ana hitting those anti-nades on Volskaya is just chef's kiss in the food. And now you see, so we're gonna see if we see any of that as well. We also remember back then when Strix played against Luminous Foxes, we saw Pharah here on Volskaya on defense, and Shady B was able to get a 5k barrage, so we could see that coming out from Lost here if Paradise Lost commit to the Pharah. So we'll see what ends up coming out here of Volskaya as the comps are about to be revealed. What do you expect to see from both sides?
Probably both going to be running dive. Is it Reminiscence on defense first? Yeah.
Yes.
So they could run an Orisa spam comp. So that's what we're going to see here. Although I think, expecting a Pharah, I would like to maybe see an... Okay, there we go. An Ashe instead of a McCree. I was going to actually say Widow or Ashe. I would like to see some concept Widow. I haven't been blessed with that in a long time. But the concept Ashe is very good as well. So I think that will help them try to deal with the Pharah that Paradise Lost is not currently showing, which is very interesting.
I mean, seeing the Widow would be a good concept on Volskaya. But no, he's gonna play the Ashe here. I'm sorry, Apathy. You signed up for this day. But we will see
the Widow player anyways.
True, but we will be seeing Paradise Lost here coming out with their monkey ball style. Instead of the Pharah, however, they're running the Ashe Torbjorn, which the Torbjorn is good for trying to deal with any sort of divers in the backline, aka Asdo's Tracer, but we'll see if it makes any sort of impact. Culture's already made his way to the backline, however, so I'm interested to see the sort of dive attempt here from Paradise Lost. They're obviously going to bring the ball into the backline and knock everybody off for the high ground. A massive play coming out. Seraph, however, still on the high ground a little bit, able to stay on that hut there, and able to get the kill onto Azukari in the end. Asdo also able to get the kill on the Magic Turtle, so Paradise Lost this amazing plan that actually could have worked with the dive, with the ball from the back and the monkey in the front, unfortunately did not work as intended, and unfortunately they're going to have to reset for another fight.
I mean, I think the tanks did their job correctly. It's just, I don't know that the Torbjorn is really able to follow up on an engage like that. Neo is a pretty good Torbjorn. He was, I believe, the runner-up for the Discord tier Torbjorn brawl during our event week. And I do believe it's one of his favorite heroes to play, so...
Yep, we'll see as the dive comes in once again from Paradise Lost, trying to do a lot of damage possible. DNA actually gets anti-nated here, drops very low, but the rest of the tanks are stuck in a room with Reminiscence, and they are destroying to the shreds. Azukari ends up falling to the hands of Lucy, but Paradise Lost, they still want some establishment here on the point, but with Neo dying in the hands of DNA, I have to see Paradise Lost retreating here. There's no chance that they have of winning this fight, unfortunately. They are still trying to, like, stagger out a little bit, trying to see if they get any more ult charge, but this is probably going to be a retreat here from the side of Paradise Lost.
Hotsteps is struggling to deal with this turret because he's so split from his Baptiste. He's been taking a lot of chunk from the turret, and the Ashe is finally able to take it out as Neo actually switches to the Hanzo and takes it out himself, I suppose. Hanzo's a pretty good pick into this. Decent against some of these hit scan snipers and good at breaking the shield of Orisa. And we also see Azukari switching over to a Sigma. They're going to try to spam out this Orisa shield and hit some chunky poke damage into the core of Reminiscence here.
Pulse Bomb from Azdo, unfortunately, is a whiff as the bomb comes out here from the side of Paradise Lost to try and push in. The mines also used here from Culture, but no casualties thus far until DNA loses his mech pretty much, but is able to use that bomb immediately and eliminate Culture with it. Azukari gets the response kill on the DNA, however, and the bomb comes out from Concept now. Paradise Lost slowly but surely trying to make progress on this card, but Glitch gets the kill onto Azukari and also onto Magic Turtle, and just like that, Paradise Lost, unfortunately, going to have to reset here. Only 1 minute and 20 seconds for them in the time bank, and they haven't been able to get a single tick here.
It can be so tough to push onto this Orisa comp. I usually like to go to like a damage boosted Echo, personally, in my games, just because of Orisa plus a flanker like Tracer is surprisingly devastating. Even though you don't think that like those coordinate well, you just have to pay so much attention to the Orisa that Azdo is just doing work in the backline of Paradise Lost right now.
Now you see Paradise Lost, they're taking the top left high ground. Concept knows they're there, trying to avoid them, but you see Azdo also trying to go over the backline, see if he can get any sort of big picks. As Paradise Lost, they have switched over to this double shield composition, back onto the Torb, and now onto a Zen on a support composition, so we'll see what this is able to accomplish as the Nano Boost is used here onto Culture, as they're still trying to pressure out the rest of Reminiscence here on the high ground. No contesting on the point, however, but that is typical here for the double shield comp, as you see Azukari trying to advance a little bit with the Sigma, trying to make sure he can get any sort of pick, and Neo gets the pick off onto Seraph, but Rigmadon falls to the hands of Azdo. 2 trades thus far here for both sides, and the Bob is thrown out here from Paradise Lost, able to just have a little pinky off the point, unfortunately, but Paradise Lost now make their way to that point with the kills that they've gotten. DNA loses his mech to the hands of Larsh's Bob, and you see now Paradise Lost is starting to get ticked up. 2 ticks taken, and now Lucy is the first one to system point here for Reminiscence. The Pulse Bomb from Azdo, able to get Neo, and Larsh dies as well to the hands of Azdo's Tracer. Azdo bringing the fight back from the brinks of defeat suddenly, and Reminiscence will be able to hold here. 78% taken here for Paradise Lost, but they will not get point A.
Reminiscence just did such a good job of very patiently contesting that fight, waiting for just the last and right opportunity to go in there, Azdo with a clutch pulse bomb. But even if he didn't hit, that Concept was nearing the Bob as well and had high ground. Just the way that they played that so slowly and patiently, waiting for that right opportunity to strike and do so to end up getting pretty much a full hold. I mean, it's a 0-point capture. They've got 78% on the point, but I think you can pretty much consider that a full hold.
We can consider it a full hold because they were unable to get point A. I usually consider a full hold as no ticks taken on any point, whether A or B, but we'll consider it a full hold. We'll consider it a good hold at least.
It's
so.
Full-ish.
Full-ish,
Yeah.
you know. Glass is half full, glass is half full, you know what I mean. But now we will be seeing Paradise Lost here on the defense. Looks like they're coming out with that double shield composition, and the dive coming out here from the side of Reminiscence. Do you think this is a smart move here from Paradise Lost to run this double shield after how sort of bad it did until the last seconds of that final push?
Well, it did well for Reminiscence on the defense. course, the Orisa comp. They do have a Sigma instead of the Diva that DNA was running. And while Orisa Sigma does give a lot of that damage and shielding, the Diva is a little bit more flexible. It gives you some point contest and the ability to just completely nullify different types of damage coming in with the defense matrix. So we'll have to see. They do also have the Torbjorn instead of that flanker, which I think was really crucial for Reminiscence's defense. But Rem currently on an Ashe of their own, which could struggle against this comp to find any sightlines because of the Sigma. So we'll see what they do, and we'll see if Glitch can hit a big nade, because that is the fastest way to win against a double shield comp, is to just splash your nade on the wall above the shield and hit a dive.
Absolutely, that is pretty much the easiest way. Glitch also trying to build up that nano boost, as they are very close to building up that nano boost, 85% and counting right now. So most likely the main attempt here, Seraph's gonna get nano boosted, just jump straight onto the side of Paradise Lost as the game is still going in. Seraph used the jump, and there's a nano boost, as I said. Here comes the attack here from Reminiscence, trying to get onto Paradise Lost as the Reminiscence tick up the point, and already a kill going on to Lost here. DNA ends up losing his mech, but the rest of Paradise Lost, they've still not been able to touch this point, and almost 2 ticks taken here for Reminiscence, and now they're falling one by one. Asdo and DNA able to finish off the rest of Paradise Lost here, and just like that, Reminiscence are going to go 2-up in this series and bring us to match point.
This patience of Reminiscence is just absolutely dominating. It sounds so weird to say that, like, their patience is dominant, because you wouldn't really think of that. You would normally think, like, oh, a hyper-aggressive team shows dominance and stuff. But Reminiscence just waiting for these right times to strike, just allowing themselves to take poke and build up that nano boost and pretty much win this, built that ult in 30 seconds so that they could win this fight with a single engage. Very impressive.
Very impressive indeed. The passive style, compared to the aggressive style we've been seeing from Paradise Lost, is working in the favor of Reminiscence, but Paradise Lost have been able to keep it pretty close, so there is that potential that they could bring this to a map 5 and reverse sweep it, so there's always the potential that Paradise Lost bring it back, but we'll have to see. After the break, we will see after halftime if Paradise Lost are able to bring it back as Reminiscence, or if Reminiscence are getting their first round bye in the championship bracket. We'll see after the break. Welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 playoffs coverage. If you missed the match so far, it's been a close 2-0 between Reminiscence and Paradise Lost, but Reminiscence is on the verge of keeping their streak alive and destroying Paradise Lost's 22-match win streak in and outside of Tranquility. As we head to map 3, Paradise Lost have chosen King's Row. Apathy, what are your thoughts on this map?
So I was talking about it during the break. Normally, you would think that a team that prefers these Monkey and Rhine tank comps would not want to go to King's Row. They would take something like Eichenwald. But then I was thinking, and if you take King's Row, you kind of can bait the other team into playing Brawl, where Pharah shines the most. And so Paradise Lost might be trying to play the atypical King's Row comp and go for like a Pharah dive, which could. Although I think Reminiscence has done their scouting and they know that Paradise Lost likes to play that Pharah comp, it can still kind of overwhelm you if you think the best comp to roll out defense is Brawl in general on King's Row. We saw that worked for them on Legion Control Center, the point that they've had the most success on so far. So I think that is the reason behind this pick, and I would be disappointed if they pick this just to play default Brawl, because I don't think that's the way you're going to beat Reminiscence, even though Brawl might be their worst comp.
Yeah, I was thinking when we saw this and when you just mentioned that, it's like Paradise Lost excelled when they threw Reminiscence off on their Brawl comp by playing a dive comp on a Brawl-centric map. King's Row is probably the most Brawl-centric map in Overwatch history. So if you are going to mess up the enemy team by having them play Brawl and playing your non-typical Pharah compositions, this is the place to do it. So we'll have to see if Paradise Lost run this Pharah composition, or if they're going to be running Brawl. But like you said, running Brawl here would kind of be a mistake on their part, as the heroes are about to be revealed. We're about to see what the side of Reminiscence is going to be bringing out, and what do you know?
It's a flyer. It might change, but yeah, they do have that ball monkey specialization that they typically run. We do see, so Rem is just going to stick to a default Brawl. I was a little bit curious if they were going to switch to 6-man to try to counter that, or like in expectation, like they did throughout the rest of Lijiang Tower. But they're going to stick with this for now. I'm very curious to see how this will roll out, because they don't really have a Mercy, but I don't think they're done making their comp. Alright, here's some more switches.
Yeah, a lot of switches coming out from Paradise Lost, and yep, they're just going to be scouting. Lost here is going to be scouting on the Sombra, just to make sure they know what they're going to be dealing with, and they probably do see it is a Brawl composition. Larsh is going to be switching back over to the Echo. Sticking with the Orisa Zarya, though. Well, we'll see if it works as Reminiscence, they start to make the advance onto Azukari here.
Some part, not that part.
Yep, Azukari makes the advance here onto the Orisa. Gets pressured out by Seraph, however, and that's an immediate kill onto the Orisa coming out here from the side of Reminiscence. And already Paradise Lost, they look to be retreating a bit. Culture's just going to try to get a little bit of ult charge here, but that Orisa is not a good coupling for Zarya. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I guess you could argue that you're trying to like bait them onto her and then bubble, and you're trying to play for Grav Dragon, but I feel like you could just play ball at that point, which was what he was showing her.
Yeah, we'll see what the move is. Lost has already died here, but Paradise Lost is still committing into this. Neo is still alive here on the Hanzo, picking up from the top right, now jumping to the safety of his team. As Paradise Lost are still looking for any sort of answers here to the Brawl composition that Reminiscence are pulling out here. And now you see Reminiscence are immediately making their advance. They're able to eliminate Culture there thanks to the help of Concept and that window from Glitch. And you see the rest of Paradise Lost falling at the seams, as now Paradise Lost, they've already lost about 2 minutes in the time bank, and they have not made a single step onto this point. Neo dying late is just going to propel any sort of problems they have.
Yeah, they do finally have this Grav Barrage, or excuse me, Grav Dragon. See if they can do anything with it, and they also have the Trance to survive as those Blizzard. But they've still... Reminiscence has pretty much 5 ults. Concept should build this High Noon in time to count it. So we're going to see a long rotation here from Paradise Lost.
Oh, the shatter from Seraph is massive. The Blizzard from Asno also there to try and help it out. The Dragon Strike comes out here from Neo, unable to eliminate anything, and he ends up falling in the hands of DNA, and the rest of Reminiscence just trying to clean up the remains here of Paradise Lost. Doesn't look like they're pushing any farther, and Lucy gets picked off here by Larsh, but it's not going to be an effective kill here as the rest of Paradise Lost just once again just falling one by one, just like dominoes. The bomb invested here from DNA, very questionable in late bomb, able to get culture however, and once again Paradise Lost are retreating, but a little bit more investment from Reminiscence, I would say.
Yeah, the bomb, maybe. At least they didn't use the grab. They did use the dragon, and I know you were trying to combo those, but I don't quite hate the dragon because it was through that small corridor where Rem was all rushing into, but they were able to quickly counter it with a beat.
Window comes out here from Magic Turtle as Paradise Lost slowly make their way to the point. Now the window from Glitch, and Geo with the grab, able to get 2 with the concussion mine. And just like that, Paradise Lost have won the fight. They switched over to this Junkrat and immediately find success. Lars is the duplicate just for good measure and is able to get the kill onto Concept, but now all that's left is DNA here on the Diva, unable to get any sort of stagger out. And Paradise Lost, with the switch onto this Junkrat, have 78% to attire and get the first point.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if it was really the switch to the Junkrat or just the power of Graviton Surge and Duplication as ultimates. They came in when Reminiscence, a little bit of an over-ulting on that last fight, so they did have a good advantage. We're able to blow these big ults. I just don't know how consistently you're going to be able to charge them throughout this map, because it did take them 3 minutes to win that single fight.
Ooh, Culture gets walled off immediately by Asdo and almost died. Neo gets killed by Concept in the aftermath, but Larsh able to get the kill onto him. Now it's even on both sides here for the side of Paradise Lost. They're still pushing forward, trying to get this card as fast as possible. The Blizzard comes out from Asdo, but he dies to the hands of Rigmadon. But Glitch is able to get the kill on the Culture, and the Blizzard able to get a lot of casualties there. Magic Turtle dies to the hands of Seraph, and the Shadow for good measure able to get down Azukari, as it looks like he's going to get staggered here on the Orisa. But the tower comes out from Neo. It's got to be big. It's not. Seraph gets hit with the Fire Strike, and the Immortality Field used from Glitch as well. The beat here from Lucy trying to stabilize, and the Transcendence comes out here from Rigmadon. Elzerk's being exchanged back and forth, and all of a sudden, Reminiscence, they're not being able to win this. They're slowly having to back out here because Paradise Lost were able to recuperate, bring themselves together, and now they're still pushing the card forward.
Yeah, Paradise Lost, just with a bit of a shorter spawn advantage, were able to use that Transcendence, make that fight go long, get their respawns, and overwhelm Reminiscence, who kind of used up some of their ults poorly.
And first point, or the second point, will be taken here by Paradise Lost as Reminiscence looking for answers. The window used early here by Glitch, but Culture is able to get the kill to Seraph, and that is a massive flux coming out from Culture, able to get everyone in the air. The Immortality Field is there to protect them, but guess what? Larsh has a bomb in the duplicate form, trying to get everybody in Reminiscence, and he gets 2! Able to get Asdo as well in the Baby Diva form, and just like that, Reminiscence continue having to stagger out here, and Paradise Lost are still pushing this card. Lucy will stagger it out a little bit, but still, Paradise Lost, they're looking clean here on to point C.
Yeah, Rem is going to need some pretty good ult combos to stop this snowball here. They're not really being able to get into brawl distance before they're getting chunked out.
Here comes the bomb from DNA, unable to get anything as Magic Turtle ends up using that lamp. Lucy dies to the tire, but Concept and Lucy are already able to pick up Larson Culture. Paradise Lost, now they're bringing it back even. Concept dies in the hands of Rigmadon, and now Zakari able to get the kill on the Seraph. The Blizzard from Asdo, it has to be big here. It's able to get 2 in the backline, but Rigmadon able to stay alive, and Azukari almost pushes the card into the end. 0.25 meters left, but unfortunately is not able to cap it, and Paradise Lost, they got it that close, and they only have 1 minute and 50 seconds to try and finish it.
Lucy able to just stop that C9 from happening. Very good awareness from him, and a good fight from Reminiscence, but they've used almost all of their best ultimates now. They are coming up on the beat, which could be their saving grace. But Rigmadon with this Transcendence has been a fight-winning ultimate so far.
They also have this Shadow coming on here for Reminiscence, so we'll see if it is the move here. Here comes the window coming out from Glitch, trying to get any sort of damage possible, but the Shadow comes out from Seraph, able to get Culture on the ground, and he falls to an untimely death, courtesy of Seraph. The Transcendence from Rigmadon will not be able to save him from that, but Paradise Lost, they're not going to be investing in this anymore. Magic Turtle dies to the hands of Concept, and just like that, Paradise Lost, they retreat here, 1 minute in the clock for them, and all they used there was that Transcendence.
Yeah, now that Rem can take the fight when and where they want to, with this defensive advantage, now that the card has been stopped, it's a bit easier for them to fight. We might have to see Paradise Lost build up quite a few ultimates to take this, perhaps go for a bit of a slow fight, wait out these 45 seconds, see if you can build the Sigma fight, the Sigma ult with some poke here before you really commit to the fight.
The Blizzard is eaten by Culture, a massive play coming out from the Sigma on the side of Paradise Lost, and the Deadeye is canceled by Culture as well! Neo able to get the kill on the Lucy, but still, Paradise Lost, they're dying one by one. Azukari unable to live to DNA's bomb, but the rest of Paradise Lost are still trying to stabilize here. All they have left is 18 seconds of the clock, and they gotta try to send this card, but Asdo in the backline able to get the kill on the Magic Turtle. That is massive. Now Lorsch dies to the hands of Concept. Concept also able to get Rigmadon. All of Paradise Lost is not on the point. Azukari will be the first to touch here on the Wrecking Ball. If he's even able to do that, able to get onto the point, but the window is there from Glitch, trying to make sure no one else touches. And the Shatter from Seraph again gets 3 on the ground, able to eliminate Magic Turtle with the charge. And unfortunately, Paradise Lost, unless there's a miracle happening here from Lars, they unfortunately will not be able to bring this into point C. They're only going to have to settle for 70.2 meters here on point B, and Reminiscence get the hold.
All things considered, a pretty good push. It looked like it was potentially going to be a full hold, but we saw them able to snowball completely through streets, and that was, you could almost count that as a 3-point capture. I mean, it was 0.25 meters away. Of course, unfortunately, if Rem does get the full cap, we will not see extra rounds, but they got the entire length of the map, so any type of hold will win them this map.
And we'll see what the strategy is here for their holds, because we saw what they were able to do on Lijiang Control Center with that Pharah comp when Reminiscence were playing the Brawl, but do we see the Pharah here again here for Paradise Lost? The answer is no. They are running a Brawl comp, and this makes the King's Row choice that much more questionable in my eyes, Apathy.
Yeah, I think if we did see the Pharah, the time to do it would have been attack anyways. A little bit better at kind of overwhelming, forcing the defense around corners where they don't want to be. Defense that's playable, but quite a bit harder because it's, you know, the offense has the ability to rotate more cleanly around the map in response to a Pharah. I just don't know if default Brawl is the way to go. Even though it might be Reminiscence's weaker comp, their weakest comp is still an A-tier comp for the Discord tier.
We'll see what the move is here from Paradise Lost. Reminiscence have noticed that they are in the hotel trying to check in. You know, the vacancy is full here, ladies and gentlemen, here in Kings Row, so fortunately unable to get that hotel booking, but they are going to be leaving, trying to find another hotel. You know, Airbnb is an option, as now they're trying to mate up with Reminiscence, and the wall is trying to separate the teams, but no separation really intact. No one really dies thus far, and now Paradise Lost make the advantage into Reminiscence. Like, Reminiscence is on the defense, and Paradise Lost is on the attack. Both Immortality fields used simultaneously, and now Reminiscence, they're going to be heading straight to the point. They have the easy opportunity here to try and be on the defensive side in an attacking situation. The duplicate charge coming out here from Seraph and Azukari. No deaths, however, taken, but Rigmadon dies to the hands of DNA. That is massive coming out from Reminiscence, and they're starting to clean up the rest of the fight afterward. Asdo gets Magic Turtle, and now there's no supports left on the side of Paradise Lost. They unfortunately have to try and sacrifice this fight, as all that's left is Culture here on the point. Spinning around like a madman ain't gonna win you a point, unfortunately, and just like that, you will be seeing Paradise Lost unfortunately lose the first point, and Reminiscence will get point number A. Point A here. Number A is a great number, by the way.
I really like the aggression that Paradise Lost had, trying to catch Reminiscence on that rotation. You know, getting in their faces, but Rem just realized, wait, they're all off the point. We're just gonna rotate there and play like we're playing defense.
Yeah, early Blizzard damage from Neo, obviously trying to catch some of Reminiscence out, but unfortunately Reminiscence was able to get out. Paradise Lost will get control of this archway, however, which is one of the best chokes here on Kings Row. Blizzard comes out from the side of Azo, and the Shatter from Seraph, able to get a few on the ground. The Deadeye from Larsh, able to get the kill on the Lucy, so it is winnable here, as Larsh able to get the kill on the DNA as well. Back and forth on both sides. Now the Deadeye used here from Concept, unable to get anything, but Azo has already found your backline in Paradise Lost. You're not going to be able to win that because of Azo all himself is alone. Culture were able to get the kill on the concept of Azo, and all of a sudden, with 2 people left, Paradise Lost win the fight.
Yeah, the BAP was able to just jump over every single one of Seraph's swings while slowly chunking him down and keeping Culture alive on that Diva. But it does give some good map control to Reminiscence here. They might be able to take this corner.
Yep, setting up by Bookstore here. The bomb comes out early here from Culture. Won't be able to get any sort of necessity picks, and Azukari is frozen up and dead to the hands of Concept. Larsh has switched over to the Doomfist now, trying to get as much damage as possible, and Neo's back on the Junkrat, but already Neo has died. Magic Turtle ends up getting killed by DNA's bomb, and Reminiscence, they're looking pretty clean and comfortable here. They're being able to push this cart with very little hesitation, and Paradise Lost. They're looking for answers. 3 minutes and 40 seconds here for Reminiscence to get point B.
Yeah, I think Paradise was, you know, they were regrouping. They were a little bit unsure. Should we take this fight? Should we not? Reminiscence, on the other hand, while regrouping, was just like, yeah, we're going in. And LCS beated like 20 meters behind his team since he was the last one back. And they took that fight very aggressively.
Ultra already very low as the push comes in, and that's a massive shatter coming out from Seraph. 4 on the ground, courtesy of the Flex DPS from the side of Reminiscence, and they're still trying to push this cart in. Neo gets the kill into Azo, however, and the mech is lost here from Culture, and Reminiscence looking clean and comfortable, being able to eliminate the rest of Paradise Lost, and they're going to be able to get point B here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to just get barely to the end of point C here. And they are looking on a very good hot streak here. Paradise Lost need answers.
Yeah, they've gotten the snowball. Paradise Lost, that's a really early tire to try to stabilize. It looks like it's because he wants to switch, but that was your best ultimate.
Absolutely. We'll see if the tire is able to get any sort of value. It will not. Paradise Lost.
Yeah, they just backed out.
Yep, Reminiscence just backed out. The wall comes out early here from Azdo, and Azukari's trapped in it. The lamp used. Seraph ends up hitting Azukari with the charge, and Reminiscence taking control of this fight once again. The swap on the Mei from Neo ain't gonna do a thing right now, as now Reminiscence approaching the final quarter. They still got over 3 minutes in their time bank. Paradise Lost need to come up with an emergency strategy now, or else they are gonna have to face off against Echo Fleet next week.
Yeah, maybe the bomb could do something for them here, but LCS with another big beat to engage this fight.
With a 4-man shatter coming out from Seraph as well into the backline of Paradise Lost. Culture able to get the kill on the Concept, and the bomb comes out from Concept as well. Unable to get any kills, however. It's still winnable here for Paradise Lost, but Asdo gets the kill on a Magic Turtle. Rigmadon is your only support remaining. The bomb comes out here from DNA, unable to get any sort of kills, but is able to punch a lot of damage into Azukari. The Immortality Fill from Rigmadon, able to keep him alive, and now Paradise Lost barely stabilizing here. Reminiscence have decided to retreat here, as Paradise Lost will get a little bit of a hold here.
Yeah, they're finally going to stabilize a bit. They've switched. They've only had to switch their Tracer for the stall, but they're fighting once again now.
Paradise Lost now in that room, and it's a 4-man shatter coming out from Azukari into the small room. That's a Reinhardt's biggest dream right there. Azukari swinging away, able to get the kill on a glitch, and Seraph dies to the hands of Neo. And once again, Paradise Lost able to hold this with an amazing play, an aggressive play regardless of it. And just like that, Paradise Lost, they only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to try and get this map win under their control.
Yeah, they finally stabilized a little bit. They've got a good ultimate bank. This is looking possible, but Rem does pretty much have 2 minutes to just farm up as many ultimates that they want, and they can blow all 6 at once to try to take this fight.
Oh no! Azukari's walled off very early. That's very bad here for Paradise Lost, but they're able to stabilize just barely enough. But Deadeye comes out here from Lars, trying to get any sort of pick, and he gets the base upon a glitch. Another shatter coming out from Azukari. He gets 3 on the ground. He does die in the end of it, but Paradise Lost quickly and surely getting rid of the members of Reminiscence. And unfortunately, Reminiscence, they still have to wait. But Paradise Lost, they're holding very well here, despite the fact that they came into this with 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the time bank for Reminiscence.
Yeah, they're still stabilizing. They only had to use 1 or 2 ults, excuse me. It was basically 1 since Azukari built that shatter in a single fight. But Reminiscence still hasn't used anything. They're working their way up to that 6-pack. The farthest one behind is Window, and that charge is so fast. So Maybe they'll go for a bomb shatter.
Speaking of window, Rigmadon uses his window first as the Blizzard comes out here from Azo, able to catch the tanks of Paradise Lost. That is massive. The bomb comes out from Culture, unable to get any kills, and Larsh has built up another Deadeye. It might not be able to get any picks here because the rest of Paradise Lost are all the way in the back line. The bomb from DNA gets 2! That is massive. That's what Reminiscence needed. The best off-tank winner this season, pulling up strong when it matters. And Paradise Lost, that 22-match win streak will have to be a memory in the past as Reminiscence will get the 3-0 victory. We'll get the bye in the championship bracket. Paradise Lost have to face Echo Fleet next week.
Yeah, once again, just that patient fight. They got the pick, and then they just backed off, waited for cooldowns, waited out the high noon, and then went back in. This patience from Reminiscence has been absolutely top tier.
Yeah, an absolute amazing performance coming out from Reminiscence. That patient style that they have really perfected was able to make use here against Paradise Lost, who were in a very aggressive team. In the end of the day, both teams did really well, but Reminiscence will edge out on top for the 3-0 victory. It was a close 3-0 victory here for Reminiscence, and Paradise Lost, unfortunately, will have to face off against Echo Fleet in the championship bracket next week. But now, Apathy, after such an exhilarating close 3-0, we have to choose some player of the matches because this was really a star-studded showcase on all sides, but we have to choose at least 2. Who's your pick for player of the match?
Because we don't know who is running like the comms for like the way that Reminiscence plays, the one who's calming to play safe and when they want to go in, basically calming their pace. I think it's either Glitch or Asdo, but I don't know for sure. I kind of want to give it to Seraph because he stepped up on this off roll and did a really good job. Not just like he wasn't feeding, he got shattered a couple times, but he was doing mechanically pretty well and was not really a liability either. So I kind of want to give it to Seraph, even though it wasn't the flashiest player on Reminiscence for this match. He stepped up, filled in for Blood Hungry, and did a really good job of it pretty quietly.
Yeah, Seraph on that off-roll did an amazing job on the Reinhardt, but no good main tank is complete without a good off-tank, and that is why I'm giving my player of the match to DNA on the D.Va. Not DNA. If you say DNA, then Yeti's going to be very disappointed in you, but I'm giving it to DNA, who did a really good job on both the Sigma and the D.Va today. It isn't often we see a D.Va pop off in the kill feed as much as DNA was able to today, so great job from DNA. He was also able to keep Seraph alive in a lot of critical scenarios. Really good job from an off-tank player, not synergized with his main tank partner, so a great job coming out from DNA. So he is my player of the match today. Again, congratulations to Reminiscence. Now, obviously, Thursday nights are usually our night for a special sort of show we call the Beat Drop with Captain Jack. Eventually, sometime after the Tranquility show, eventually after the broadcast, we will be showing tonight's Beat Drop showing. It may not be after the match due to, scheduling interviews and such, but it is going to be an amazing show, and our friend Apathy here will be on the Beat Drop as well. That's tonight. Me. Yeah.
Yes, I will be interviewing, not being interviewed. Our interviewees are Be Well, Vila, Anguish, and Cucumber.
Yeah,
Cucumber.
It's gonna be cucumber, however you pronounce it, tomato, potato. But it's been an amazing night, and honestly, what a really good match to close out the upper and lower bracket part of the Overwatch Tranquility playoffs. Next week is the championship bracket. Everything is on the line. One game, one loss, and you are out in the Tranquility tournament next season, and it's going to be a really heckin' good show, and we're really excited for all of it. But until then, thank you all for watching. From everyone here in the Overwatch Tranquility, especially Apathy on the color cast, and our wonderful producer, Cavalier, who did an amazing job today, I've been Bowsy, and we hope you have an amazing night.
Bye.